Welcome back to Ask the Educator, a podcast for all professionals involved in medical device processing and sponsored by Healthmark Industries. The education team here at Healthmark has 280 years of combined experience in areas ranging from sterile processing, endoscopy, OR, biomed, to hospital and industry leadership. Our goal is to leverage our collective experience to answer one of your questions each episode, giving you the practical tips you need to succeed in the evolving world of device processing. My name is Kevin Anderson, clinical educator here at Healthmark, and I will be your host. Let's get started. Hello everyone, Kevin Anderson here, and I have some breaking news to share with you on this episode of Ask the Educator. There have been 4 amendments just released to the Comprehensive Guide to Steam Sterilization, ANSI AAMI ST79. It is important that you are aware of these changes that are now in effect. The first amendment comes in section 3.2.1.1. I know many of you have been looking for further guidance and specifics regarding environmental cleaning in the sterile processing department, and now you have it. You will see items that need to be cleaned on a schedule, whether it is daily, weekly, or even monthly. And you will see recommendations for documenting these cleaning procedures. And one thing that jumped out at me was the statement that dust mops and brooms should not be used for cleaning procedures in the sterile processing areas. Damp mops should be used instead to clean the floors, which aligns more with how the operating rooms are cleaned. And another interesting point was how the use of cleaning verification may be used to monitor effectiveness of environmental cleaning procedures. So let's look at amendment number 2, which has 2 new sections, 8.2 and 8.2.1. Now, 8.2 talks about the inspection of all instruments and states that each time a medical device is processed, it should be visually inspected for cleanliness and integrity. Now, this may include the use of enhanced inspection tools like magnification, borescopes, or other inspection methods. And when using such inspection tools, do so according to the manufacturer's instructions for use. And another important point in this section is that it recommends all inspection equipment be present and available prior to the first use of the equipment. And now regarding section 8.2.1, this one deals with the inspection of instruments that are intended to be used with electric current. In other words, your insulated instruments. And as we know, there are many different instruments that come with insulation, but one of the most common types are laparoscopic instruments. Now, this amendment gives us more direction on how these types of instruments should be inspected. So what are some of the big changes? Well, we need to be inspecting these types of instruments' external surfaces with lighted magnification. We need to check the insulation integrity each time these devices are processed. Cables and cords that are used to hook up to these types of instruments may also be a source of concern and should be inspected for integrity and continuity. Now, one nice thing in this amendment is the addition of a table that provides information on how to test instruments within these various categories. It also includes a lot of great pictures of these devices and points of inspection. So this is a great addition because we don't want to forget about inspecting our LEAP sets or other insulated instruments. And then moving on to Amendment 3, which is a revision to Section 12.4. This one has to do with routine care and cleaning of your sterilizer equipment. This one provides a list of items that should be inspected visually according to the manufacturer's IFU. These items could include the printer ribbon, or maybe the ink cartridge, as well as the general cleanliness of the internal surfaces of the sterilizer itself. So if you notice that there's discoloration or staining that's observed on the inside of the sterilizer, then that manufacturer's IFU should be followed on how to clean those internal surfaces of the chamber. And now this brings us to our final amendment, Amendment 4, which has to do with a revision to Section 13.3.3. This amendment is all about lot numbers. All the BI testing that you do, you need to remember to record the lot numbers of all the BIs and all of the controls. This shouldn't be a major change to current practice, as the controls should be from the same lot as your BI anyway, but one you want to be sure that you are documenting going forward. This has been a breaking news update regarding 4 amendments released concerning ANSI AAMI ST79. It is important to note that this is not a comprehensive overview of the amendments, and you should be sure to get your copy of the latest amendments for your facility and familiarize yourself with all of the details of these changes. You can find more information at www.aami.org. Please remember to subscribe to this podcast so you can be notified every time a new episode is released. We really appreciate your feedback and or your questions. So if you would like to contact us, you can do so by sending us an email at asktheeducator@hmark.com. Thank you all for listening. All opinions expressed on this show are those of the presenters. Before using any medical device, it is important to review the device manufacturer's instructions for use.